Hello everyone, in this video I'll be explaining the problem longest subsequence with non-zero bitwise XOR. So yeah, you are given an integer array nums. Return the length of the longest subsequence in nums whose bitwise XOR is non-zero. If no such subsequence exists, we need to return zero, cause the length is zero. Okay, so let's go to iPad and yeah, let's try to understand the problem statement. So 3702 longest subsequence with non-zero bitwise XOR. Okay, so in the problem statement, what they've given is they'll give an array nums whose length is n, and we need to find the longest subsequence. Okay, longest subsequence whose whatever subsequence you will find, right? So if you do the bitwise XOR, you know, bitwise XOR operation, so the result has to be non-zero, which means a result has to be any positive integer. Okay, so what is subsequence? Subsequence is basically, let's say if you consider a string s0, s1, s2, up to so on, sn minus 2, sn minus 1. This is a string. It is a zero based index string and its length is n. So subsequence you can have is s0, s2, s3, s5. So this is subsequence. The reason, if you see it, the ordering of the each character in the string is same. Here, if you see s0 comes before s2, right? And it comes before s3 and it comes before s5, which is in the original string. So we can think of it as a subsequence. And you cannot say s0, s3, s2, s5 is a subsequence because here ordering is not maintained. Okay, like s0 comes before s3, which is correct, but s2 comes before s3 is not correct, right? I mean s3 comes before s2 is not correct. So here the ordering is not weighted. So in case of subsequence, ordering has to be a thing. So you can choose any element from the string, and it can be formed a subsequence. I just gave the example of string, similarly holds with the nums array. Okay, so what they're actually trying to say is we need to find a subsequence from the array, and whatever subsequence you have chosen, it should be the longest, and the bitwise XOR of let's say nums whatever you have chosen, right? Nums array a0, a1, a2, up to so on, an minus 1 we have. You have chosen, let's say a0, a2, a5, a7 as the longest subsequence. And when you do a0 XOR operation with a2, XOR operation with a5, XOR operation with a7, the result has to be greater than equals to 0. I mean, this thing, the result has to be greater than equals to 0. So let's understand what they're trying to say. Let's take example and understand. So we have nums array as 1, 2, 3. So what all subsequence are possible? First one is like you don't choose any element, it's a subsequence. But now let's take length one subsequence, length one. So you can have one, you can have two, you can have three. So these elements are since just one, so its XOR operation will always be same thing. Okay, so in your answer you can choose one as the answer. because one length of is possible, one length subsequence. Now let's take length 2 subsequence. What all you can have? You can have 1 2, you can have 1 3, you can have 2 3. So these are two length subsequence. Okay. So when you do bitwise XOR operation, so what is 1 in bit? You can take this. What is 2 1 0? So XOR operation is giving you 1 1 and it's equivalent to 3. So it's a non-zero value. So uh, this 1 2 as a subsequence you can take. So you can update your answer. Similarly, if you do with 1 3, so 1 3 is gonna be this thing. 1 is 0 1, 3 is 1 1 in bit. And I think you guys know XOR operations. When 2 bits are 0, it will be 0. Okay, when it is 1 0, it is 1, and when it is 0, when it is 1, when it is 1 1, it is 0. So when there are two same bits, the resultant operation is 0. When there are different bits, the result operation is 1. Okay, so I think you have understood. Now you can also take length 3. So length 3 will be 1 2 3, right? So um, 0 1, I'm taking 1, and 2 2 is 1 0. So its result is 3. And this result I'll be again doing XOR operation with the 3, this. So now it will be 0. So it is a non-zero operation. So length 3 is not possible. So entire array, if you're taking, it is not possible. So the maximum answer here is 2, which is 2, correct. So now how do we solve this? Since it's an array and we have a0, a1 up to so on an elements, so each element can be chosen or it is not chosen, right? So for each element we have two possibilities. We have two possibilities, and for this element also we have two possibilities. Similarly, for all the elements we have two possibilities. How many times? This will be n times. Okay, so the time complexity of the solution is going to be 2 to the power n. Okay, and since you have chosen one element and then you will be doing XOR operation, so basically when you're doing XOR operation, so each element you're taking, right, all max, I mean n elements will be taking. So this will take time complexity of n, so it will be 2n times of n. Okay, uh, so basically you can think of it's an exponential. So when you are doing a brute force solution, the time complexity is exponential, and your n in the question they said up till 10 power 5. So when it is 10 power 5, so yeah, I mean, this will definitely give a TLE. You can't solve. So we need to think of the other way. Okay. So other way, what I can think of is I can think of DP, because we are choosing states and we have two possibilities. We can either choose or we cannot choose. But still, uh, DP is also not a valid solution in this, um, because when you're choosing, um, like whatever element you are choosing, let's say TP means you're solving for this particular current state, and for recursion you will be saying ki solve for me for this particular state. So what will DP do is it will solve for this, and based on this uh, result you're trying to compute the solution. So based on this result, there could be a possible that in this whatever chosen element we have, right, their XOR operation is 0 right now, but that solution you will not be choosing here at this position. So that is not the case, because here it may happen that since here it is 0, but here we can make sure it is non-zero. So DP is also not a valid one, and this is very easy problem, I would say. It's just a trick. um, okay, so how do we solve this now is the question. So we have array A, we had let's take other example 2 3 4. So in this case, what I'll try to do is I'll try to take the entire array as my subsequence. When I take entire array subsequence, first let's 2 3, so it will be this thing, right? um, and I'll take 4 and its value is 5. So if you take XOR of entire array, it is 5 and which is non-zero. Sorry, greater than 0. Okay. So entire array is a subsequence, you can say. Our answer will be a 3 in this length of this subsequence is 3. Okay. So from this, what I'll try to, take is that first I'll try to take entire array. If the entire array XOR is non-zero, so my subsequence will be the entire array length, which is 3 in this case. But in the previous case, when you saw, it was like 1, 2, 3, right? So when I took the entire array XOR, it was 0. So since it was 0, so from this element of the array, if you take any element, okay, since XOR is 0, right? So if you take any element in the sense it is a non-zero element, okay, let's take, I'm taking 1. So its XOR will be now 1. The XOR operation will be 1, which means I've removed this element and these two element XOR is, uh, into our answer. So basically what I'm trying to say is, first you take entire entire array, and if their XOR is 0, non-zero, so your answer will be n. If it happens that the entire thing is giving you 0, entire arrays XOR value is giving you 0, so when you choose one element from the array, because XOR operation is in such a way that when you take 2 XOR 2, it will be 0, right? Meaning, see, we have two element, so all bits are set, it is 0. Okay, and when you have chosen, when you've taken the XOR of all the operations, so it will be this way, and your XOR is 0. Now, when you're making sure choosing this one, it will be this kind. Okay, which is like I'm eliminating this one. Okay, 1 XOR 1 is 0, so it's like I'm removing one. I'm not considering into my subsequence, and we have just 2 and 3, and 2 and 3 is um, XOR value is this thing 1. Okay, which is non-zero. So when you have taken the XOR of entire array and it is non-zero, so we'll return this length of the array. If it is 0, then you will choose one non element and put into your XOR and make sure it is non-zero, and you will now your length will be n minus 1. You have understood, right? In this case, in case of array 1 2 3, your length is just 2. Why? Because entire array XOR is 0. Okay, now I'll make sure I'll choose one element. It's like I'm removing this element, so you're doing XOR with 1, and it will give you XOR is 1, and it is non-zero, so your length will be n minus 1, which is 3 minus 1, which is 2. And it may happen that's the third case wherein let's take array as all element is 0. So in this case, what will happen is now your XOR will be 0, and no matter which element you're taking, again you're doing XOR with 0, it is 0 only. Okay, if you choose this element XOR with 0, it is 0. So it's like when all the elements of the array are 0, so you'll not find any subsequence wherein the XOR is non-zero. So in this case, your answer will be 0. It's like 0 length subsequence. So I think you guys have understood. So yeah, let's try to write algorithm. So first your XOR will be 0, and you'll take a loop from I 0 to n minus 1, and you'll do XOR operation with the nums of I. Now you'll be checking if this XOR is greater than 0, so we have got answer. We need to return n, the entire length. If not, then what we'll do is you'll be again moving from 0 to n minus 1, and you'll try to find a non-zero value wherein um, uh, if you do XOR with that, XOR with the 0, so it will be non-zero value. So you'll find if nums of I, if it is greater than 0, so you have found a non-zero element, so you need to return simply n minus 1. Else, if this if condition is not executed, which means in the array we don't have any non-zero value, so in that case we need to return our answer as 0. So yeah, this is the algorithm. So let's try to write the code in VS Code. First we'll take n as nums dot size. We'll take XOR value as 0 initially, and we'll run a loop. I will take the XOR of entire array. Now we need to check if this XOR value is greater than 0, so we need to return n, which means entire array XOR is greater than 0. If not, then we need to again run a loop, and we need to check if this this particular element is greater than 0. So one non-zero element we have found, and if we XOR the entire subarray XOR with that element, we are getting a non-zero XOR. So we need to return n minus 1 because that particular element we are removing. Else, just return 0, which means all the elements of the array are 0. Let's try to run it. Let's try to submit. Now if you see, yeah, it beats 100% of the user. Initially, in case of brute force solution, our time complexity was like exponential, but now if you see, it is linear. Um, yeah, here it is O of n time, here also it is O of n time. So at max it is 2 times of n, basically linear, and space complexity is constant. We are not using any vector or something. We are using just a variable, and it's a bit manipulation problem, we can say. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the video.